No significant progress in your business has ever got a line item in the budget. You have to figure out a way. So we're at that time of year where people have already given up on their New Year's resolutions. They've said,
I didn't mean that anyway. I don't have to eat that diet. It's too extreme. It's too hard on my system. I need self-care. I need to coddle myself.
You weren't meant to be coddled. You were meant to be challenged. I'm going to encourage you to set impossible goals. It's kind of fun to do the impossible, said Walt Disney. And he did it. I'm setting a goal for our company that's 10 times our annual revenue from last year. Why am I on this kick? Somebody said something to me recently. We were talking about allocating money for a certain project. And I said, well, that's not in the budget, man. And my friend said, no significant progress in your business has ever got a line item in the budget. You have to figure out a way. Boom! That lit me up like a Christmas tree. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Let's do it. That sounds fun. So you got to set impossible goals to activate your subconscious mind to do things you've never done before. Your subconscious knows you don't know how to do this impossible thing. I don't know how to make $10 million in a year. I've seen other people do it. I don't know how to do it because I've never done it, but I'm willing to try. And I'm willing to do more than try. I'm willing to experiment and fail over and over and over again until I figure out how to do it. Setting these impossible goals like this, if you're willing to take me up on this challenge and do it, will light you up like a Christmas tree too, because you start thinking, well, I got to set milestones. I got to have a quarterly number I got to hit to make sure I'm on track. And that quarterly number is looking squirmishly close to me right now. It's like, man, I've only got a little under 3 months to go since I set these impossible goals. And I got to have some significant progress. I got to be like $3 million in. And I've never made $3 million in 3 months ever, because what we did before won't get us to where we need to go now. Now the team's excited. Now the team's electrified. They're doing things they've never done before. They're rising to the challenge. They're stepping into roles they've never occupied before. So how do you do this? The goal is not the important thing, but it's who you become in pursuit of the goal that's important. Thank you, Jordan Peterson, for illuminating that for everybody. He didn't originate it, but he said it so often it's been picked up by everybody, and everybody thinks they said it now. You have to emotionally accept, though, your future self. Be your future self now, The Science of Intentional Transformation by Benjamin Hardy. Get that book. It's awesome. It's really good. You have to emotionally accept your future self. Why do I say emotionally accept? You have to believe you deserve it. It's been said that the unconscious will only allow you to have what you believe you deserve. Somewhere inside yourself, you may believe you don't deserve it, so you won't allow yourself to have it. You've got an upper limit on what you can accomplish. Benjamin Hardy said, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And it's not about being fake. It's about being intentional and conscious about who you are. If you look at yourself and you say, well, right now I'm not totally happy with who I see that I've constructed. I constructed this person unconsciously. I wasn't thinking about it. I just did it over the years, starting as a child, putting together things that were childish things into a stack that I called my persona. And I just played into that all throughout my life, and I became this person that I am right now. This is not who I designed myself to be. I didn't design myself to be this at all. I didn't even try to discover what my design was from the original manufacturer. Consciously construct the identity you want and be committed to it. The story of your life is not your life. It's just your story. And how much you're in love with that story determines how easy it's going to be for you to become something new. There's no stronger force in human psychology than the need for us to be consistent with the identity we've constructed for ourselves. You can commit to being the kind of person who doesn't eat sweets, who doesn't overeat, overindulge. You can commit to being the kind of person who doesn't smoke cigarettes. You can commit to being the kind of person who exercises every day because you love it, you enjoy it. You can commit to it. Benjamin Hardy says in another place in one of his recent podcasts, he says, all positive change begins with telling the truth. But to get to an impossible goal, to win over an impossible goal, to achieve an impossible feat, to hit $10 million when you've only hit $1.5 million in the past, you got to find a new way of thinking. I can't do what I've done to make $1 million with my company to get to 10 million, because if I did, I would be in a grave, because I would have to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the point of unhealthiness. I'm not going to do that ever again. I'm committed to that. You have to learn to expect and see when you're operating from and as your future self. You need to learn to expect and see miracles. The deep brain stimulation surgery I had a little over a month ago that has removed most of the symptoms of Parkinson's disease from my body is a miracle. The result is a miracle. I only got here through nonlinear thought, doing something I thought was impossible, having that surgery. I thought I would never go into a surgical suite to have somebody cut holes in my head and put wires in my brain. But I did it with gratitude a little over a month ago, and now I'm filled with joy and gratitude because I did it. Because I engaged in nonlinear thinking, I considered doing something impossible. You can do this in your business for sure. You got to give yourself room for inspiration. How do you do that when you're crowded with social media, podcasts, YouTube videos? You're consuming all this content. You got to give yourself space, room, so your subconscious can be working and provide you with answers. Whether you believe it's your subconscious, whether you believe it's your intuition, whether you believe it's the Holy Spirit of God speaking to you in the quiet places of your heart. You got to give it room. You got to listen. You got to stop talking and shut down all the voices and just listen for that voice. Can we just talk about the DBS for a minute? deep brain stimulation surgery that I had for Parkinson's. Remarkable surgery, life-changing surgery. It has changed every aspect of my life. I now have energy. I now have the stability to be able to walk and talk and do things myself and drive myself places. And I can function for a whole day. I still have to take medication. I still have some symptoms. I'm not cured. But by God, it feels like I'm cured most of the time. I'm cured enough. I'm so grateful, so filled with gratitude for it. And some say, well, it's not a miracle, Ray. It was just science. There's no such thing as just science. It was a scientific, medical, and spiritual miracle for something that I'd asked for so long that I had stopped praying for it years ago, really. So however you want to think about it, here's how I think about it. God answered the prayer that I had stopped praying. Thank God he was always listening. We can see the miraculous all around us because it's there if we just take the time to look for it. Journaling, walking. That's what got me started on that tangent. I'm able to walk now. I'm so thankful to be able to walk. What a miracle to be able to walk. This week, I'm going into mastermind meetings with my mastermind group that they pay me to coach them and to bring them together and help them elevate their thinking, elevate their view of the world, and elevate their businesses to a new level of impact and income and influence. That's what being in a mastermind is all about. It's about raising your floor so that the lowest place you go in your thought and your emotions and your actions is higher than the highest places used to be. That's what masterminding is for. So the final couple of steps to get you to take on this task that I've assigned to you of taking on an impossible goal and going for it because it lights you up like a Christmas tree. Don't let other people program you for depression, anxiety, and despair. And the final piece of advice I'm going to give you for achieving impossible goals, and you're going to say, well, you haven't told me how to do it. That's because I don't know how to do it. You got to figure that out. That's the puzzle. That's the delight. That's the joy of life, figuring out how to do that. But you got to do it a step at a time. So don't put garbage in your brain, and then practice being a creator, not a consumer. Most people I know in business and in life spend 80 to 90% of their time consuming stuff other people have created. The story of your life is not your life. It's just your story. And it might not even be yours. Till next time, God bless you. May you live long. May you stay healthy. And may you prosper with purpose. I love you very much. And not in a weird way. Ciao.